In the peaceful village of Umoba, where everyone knew each other's stories, Hadora was a name that sparkled in the hearts of many, a vision of beauty and grace. Her radiant smile lights up the darkest corner of the village. Her happiness knew no bound. She was always the first to lend a hand, and her laughter was a melody that everyone cherished. It was no wonder that the young men of Umoba found themselves gravitating toward her, each one yearning for her attention, hoping to win her heart. Adora lived with her father, Chief Okeke, a man of great respect in the community. Their compound was often filled with the scent of fresh flowers, a reflection of the warmth and love that Adora brought to their home. The young men of the village visited daily, each, each bearing gifts, a carefully wooden basket, a jar of honey, or a piece of fine fabric. Each hoping their offering will be the one to capture her heart. Yet, despite their efforts, Adora remained courteous but distant. She valued discipline and immunity, and though she appreciated the attention, she longed for something deeper, something that spoke to her soul. Then one morning, something unusual happened. As Adora stepped out to begin her day, she found a small wrapped package on her doorstep. Curious, she opened it to find a delicate necklace made of pure gold, its pendant shaped like a heart. Attached to it was a note written in elegant handwriting to Adora, whose beauty is wholly surpassed by her heart. The gift was breathtaking, and Adora was touched by the sentiment, but there was no name, no clue as to who had left it. She asked her father and the servants, but none had seen anyone approach the house that morning. The next day, another gift appeared, a pair of handcrafted earrings adorned with precious stones, accompanied by another note, which read, "For the one who brightens the world with her smile, Adora, good morning." Every morning, without fail, a new gift was left on our doorstep. Each was more exquisite than the last. A silk scarf from faraway land, a handcrafted wooden box, a rare book of poetry. The notes were always simple, yet profound, revealing an understanding of her deepest desires and thoughts. But the sender remained a mystery. Adora tried to discover who this secret admirer was. She woke up each day, hoping to catch the person in the act. She even asked her closest friends to keep an eye out, but no one has ever seen anything suspicious. The gift seemed to appear as if it was by magic. The mystery consumed her thoughts. Who could this be? A young man from the village? Someone she knew? Or was it a stranger from a distant place? The uncertainty growled at her, and though the gifts were all beautiful, but the mystery of the giver began to unsettle her. One night, unable to sleep, Adora decided to stay up and watch the front door from her window. The moon was full, casting long shadows across the compound. She sat in silence, her heart pounding with anticipation. Hours passed, and just as she was about to give up, she noticed a figure approaching the house. The person moved with an airy quietness, almost as if they were sliding across the ground. Adora held her breath, straining to see in the dim light. The figure was cloaked in black, the face hidden beneath a hood. The figure approached the doorstep and gently placed a small box on the ground. Then, as silently as they had come, they turned and disappeared into the night. Adora rushed to the door, flinging it open, but the figure was already gone, swallowed by the darkness. She picked up the box, her hand trembling. Inside was a simple gold ring engraved with the words, "To the one I will always cherish." But the note that accompanied it was different this time. It read, "If you wish to know who I am, come to the old oak tree by the river at midnight." Adora's heart raced. She had waited so long to meet this mysterious person, but now that the moment was upon her, she felt a pang of fear. Who was this person who had been watching her so closely? Who knew her every thought and desire? Could she trust them? She asked herself. But curiosity got the better part of her. She decided to go. Good day, my wonderful viewers. Thank you once again for tuning in into my channel. Please, if you haven't subscribed yet, do it to hit that subscription button and the notification button to always get you notified whenever I post videos. Let's find out who this mysterious person is. Thank you as you watch. God bless you. That night, Adora left her home and made her way to the river, where the old oak tree stood. The air was thick with tension, and the only sound was the gently rustling of leaves. As she approached the tree, she saw a shadow figure waiting for her. "Who are you?" she called out, her voice steady despite the fear in her heart. The figure stepped forward, revealing a face she had never seen before. Yet there was something familiar in the eyes that met hers. They were kind eyes, full of warmth and sincerity. The stranger was a young man, tall and handsome, but there was a sadness in his expression. "My name is Nkem," he said softly. "I came from a neighboring village where my parents had lived for many years. I have watched you from afar, Adora. Admired your beauty, your kindness, your spirit, but I knew I could never approach you, for there is a curse upon my family that forbids us from loving or being loved. Anyone who try will bring misfortune to those they care for." Adora's heart ached at his word. "Then why do you send me these gifts?" she asked. "Because I could not help myself," Nkem replied. "I wanted to give you something to show you how much you mean to me, even if I could never be with you. But I now see that I have only caused you distress. I'm sorry, Adora. I will trouble you no more." He turned to leave, but Adora reached out and grabbed his hands. "Wait," she said. "I don't care about the curse. I really do want to know you, Nkem. I want to understand why you felt you couldn't come to me. If you have watched me, then you should know that I'm not afraid of challenges." Nkem's eyes was filled with a mixture of hope and fear. "Are you sure, Adora? The cause is real. I have lost people I loved before, simply because I care for them." "I don't care," Adora repeated, her voice thin. "I believe that love is stronger than any curse. We will face whatever comes together." Moved by her words, Nkem finally allowed himself to smile, a smile that seems to light up the darkness around them. "Then we will try," he said together. And so, from that night on, Adora and Nkem began to meet in secret, learning about each other's lives, sharing their hopes and dreams. The gifts continued, but now they were accompanied by the warmth of Nkem's presence. The villagers noticed that Adora seemed happier, more at peace, but no one could guess the reason why. Yet, as days passed, strange happenings began to happen in Umoba. Crops unexpectedly began to dwindle, animals fell ill, and the river that once flowed with clear water turned into murky and foul. The villagers began to whisper about a curse, and though no one could prove it, many started to believe that Adora was at the center of it all. Rumors spread, and soon the village elders called a meeting, demanding answers. Adora knew that she could not hide the truth any longer. She stood before the village and told them everything about the gifts, about Nkem, and about the curse that has plagued his family. The villagers were shocked, and fear spread like wildfire. Some called for Nkem to be driven out of the land, while others believed that Adora had been bewitched. Chief Okeke, torn between his love for his daughter and his duty to the village, did not know what to do. But Adora stood firm. I will not abandon Nkem, she declared. If you cast him out, then you must cast me out too. We will find a way to break the curse. But we cannot do it alone. We need your help. The village was silent, the tension still in the air. Then slowly, one by one, the villagers began to nod in agreement. Despite their fear, they trusted Adora and they knew that she had always acted in the best interest of the community. Together with the help of the village elders and came knowledge of his family past, they uncovered the origin of the curse. The origin of the curse that plagued Nkem family were as dark as they were tragic. Many generations ago, in the neighboring village where Nkem ancestors lived, there was a young woman named Uju who was so beautiful and was kind, just like Adora. Uju was loved by everyone in her community. She was the kind of person that would light up a room with her presence, always ready with a helping hand or a comforting word. However, Uju's beauty and grace did not go unnoticed by powerful men in the village, particularly by Chief Obiora, a man known for his wealth and influence. Chief Obiora was a man used to getting what he wanted, and he decided that Uju should be his wife. But Uju, who believed in love rather than power, refused his advances. She had already given him She told him that she has already given her heart to another, a humble farmer named Ifine. Ifine and Uju were deeply in love, planning to get married and build a life together. But their happiness was cut short. Chief Obiora, humiliated and enraged by Uju's rejection, vowed to destroy her happiness. He accused Ifeanyi of stealing from the village sacred clove, a crime that carried the punishment of death. It was a lie though, but Chief Obiora's influence swelled the villagers' elders and Ifeanyi was sentenced to death. Uju was devastated. On the day of Ifeanyi's execution, she pleaded with the village elders, trying to prove his innocence, but no one could listen to her. They saw her as a woman who had spurned their most powerful leader, and so they turned a deaf ear to her cries. Ifeanyi was killed, and Uju was left alone, her heart shattered. But Chief Obiora had not finished. To make an example of Uju, he accused her of witchcraft, claiming that she had used dark magic to seduce Ifeanyi and bring Charles to the village. The villagers, already fearful and superstitious, quickly turned against her. Uju was dragged from her home, beaten and sentenced to be buried alive, a punishment reserved for those accused of consorting with evil spirits. As they buried her, Uju used the last strength of her voice to lay a curse upon the land. She was buried alive. With her dying breath, she cried out, her voice filled with pains and furor. There shall be no peace in this land. No man of this village shall ever find happiness with a woman. For as long as I'm denied my love, so too shall they be denied theirs. Any man who dares to love will see his beloved taken from him by death. Just as you have taken it fine away from me, this I declare. I am innocent. I am innocent. I am innocent. Her word hung in the air like a dark cloud, and the earth covered her. A chilling silence fell over all the villagers. The people were unnerved, but they quickly tried to forget Uju and her curse, believing that it would die with her, but they were wrong. From that day forward, strange and terrible things begins to happen. The land, once fertile, became barren. The women who had always been healthy began to fall ill, and soon after they would die. Marriages ended in tragedy, with brides and wives passing away mysteriously, their lives cut short by illness or accident. The village elders, realizing too late the gravity of their action, tried to reverse the course, but nothing they did could lift the shadow that had befallen over the land. Generation passed, and the curse became a dark legend, whispered in fear. Families kept their daughters away from men, fearing the fate that awaited them, and so the men of the village became ancestors, live in solitude, unable to love without bringing death to those they cared for. Nkem himself was born into this cursed lineage. From a young age, he was taught to fear love, to keep his distance from women, lest it will bring ruin upon them. But as he grew older, he found himself unable to resist the pull of his heart. Despite knowing the risks, he came fair in love once, twice, many times, and each time the woman he loved died in tragic circumstances. One of the women drowned mysteriously in the river after they have spent the day together. Another fell ill with a sudden incurable disease shortly after they had exchanged vows of love. Yet another died in a freak accident on her way to meet him. With each death, Nkem's heart grew heavier, and he began to believe that he was cursed to be alone forever. When Nkem first saw Adora, he was captivated by her beauty and spirit. But more than that, he saw in her a reflection of the kindness and grace that Uju had once embodied. Despite himself, he fell deeply in love with her, but the fear of losing her kept him from approaching her. He watched her from afar, leaving her gifts as a way to express his feelings without bringing her harm. Every day, he would leave her a token of his love, each more precious than the last, hoping that this distance would protect her from the curse he had taken so many from the curse that has taken so many before her. But as the day passed and Adora remained unharmed, Nkem began to wonder if there was something different about her. Could she be the one to break the curse? Or was it simply playing with fate, risking her life with each every passing day? When Adora comforted him at the old tree, Nkem was shocked that she was still alive. He had expected the cross to take her the moment he allowed his heart to love her, but as it had with others. But here, she stood full of life and courage, challenging the darkness that has plagued his family for so long. I don't understand, Nkem confessed to Adora that night. Every woman I've ever loved has died because of this curse. But you are still here. Maybe because I believe in something stronger. Adora replied, I believe in love, Nkem. And I believe that if we face this curse together, we can break it. Her word filled him with hope, something he hasn't felt in years. For the first time, Nkem allowed himself to believe that perhaps, with Adora by his side, He could finally break the curse that has haunted his family for generations. But deep down, the fear remained, glowering at him, warning him of the dangers they still faced. As the villagers worked together to uncover the origin of the curse, they found a place where Uju had been buried, her grave unmarked and forgotten by time. With great care, they unearthed her remains, offering prayers and apologies for the injustice that had been done to her. They built a shrine in her honor, hoping to appease her restless spirits. Her restless spirits. The ritual to lift the curse was intense, involving days of fasting, prayers, and offering to the gods. The village elders called upon the spirits of the land, asking for forgiveness and peace. As the final rites were performed, a powerful storm swept through the village, tearing at the trees and shaking the earth. It was as if every spirit were battling for control. When the storm finally passed, a calmness settled over the village that had not been felt in generations. The air was clear, the land vibrant once more. The curse, it seems, had been lifted. But as for Nkem, the true test was whether Adora would survive. As days turned into weeks, weeks into months, and she remained unharmed. Nkem's heart swelled with joy. The curse was broken, and for the first time in his life, he could imagine a future filled with love and happiness. Adora and Nkem love story became a beacon of hope for the entire village, a reminder that even in the darkest curses can be broken when faced with courage, unity, and love. Their union was celebrated by all, and as they built their life together, the village of Umuoba flourished once more, free from the shadows of the past. Thank you for watching. Please do well to drop your comments or what you think about the story at the comment section. Tell me what you've learned, your moral stories, and subscribe. Subscribe, hit the notification button to always get you notified whenever I post video. I promise to bring in you more sweet, interesting, spirit-filled stories. Just please click on that notification button and always drop a comment. I want to be seeing your comment at the comment section. Thank you and God bless you. Bye. See you on my next video.